What's the worst thing a step-parent has done to you? I was 12 when my stepdad Gary moved in and decided I was too spoiled. He convinced my mom I needed discipline, so they started locking me in my room for hours over tiny things like forgetting to put my cereal bowl away. The locks weren't just regular door locks. Gary installed sliding bolts on the outside. I'd bang on the door until my fists were raw, screaming to use the bathroom, but they'd ignore me for hours. My mom would slip crackers under the door like I was some kind of animal. Gary escalated fast. He took my bedroom door off its hinges, saying privacy was a privilege I hadn't earned. Then he moved my bed into the basement, claiming the cold concrete would build my character. School became my escape, but Gary started picking me up early, telling teachers I had family obligations. He'd drag me home and make me scrub the garage floor with a toothbrush, or reorganize his tool shed by size and color. If I missed a spot, he'd dump everything out and make me start over. My mom worked long shifts, coming home exhausted. When I tried telling her about Gary's punishments, she'd snap that she was too tired for my complaints. She started taking pills to sleep, checking out completely. The breaking point came on a Saturday morning. I was eating cereal when Gary walked in, freshly showered, reading his newspaper. I reached for the orange juice and accidentally knocked it over. The glass shattered, juice everywhere, soaking into his precious weekend paper. Gary's face turned purple. He grabbed my arm so hard I felt my bones grind together, screaming that I was a worthless burden who destroyed everything I touched. My mom appeared in the doorway, but instead of helping, she yelled at me for making a mess. Gary shook me like a rag doll, shouting that maybe I'd learn respect if I had to survive on my own in the real world. That's when something inside me snapped. I ripped free from his grip, ran upstairs, and grabbed my camping backpack. I threw in my sleeping bag, a flashlight, and the emergency granola bars I'd been hiding. Gary was still screaming downstairs when I opened my bedroom window. I hit the ground running. I disappeared into the thick woods behind our neighborhood, following the creek I knew led to the state park. My heart hammered as I heard Gary's voice getting fainter, probably still ranting to my mom about teaching me a lesson. For the first hour, I expected them to come looking immediately, but the forest stayed quiet. I found a dense thicket near the creek, built a shelter with fallen branches, and waited. By sunset, no one had come. No voices calling my name, no flashlights sweeping through the trees. Then the first helicopters. I stayed hidden in my shelter, watching the search crews through the branches. Police cars lined our street when I crept close enough to see. Gary stood on our porch talking to officers, gesturing wildly, playing the concerned stepfather perfectly. But I knew the truth would come out. Then the search dogs appeared. I heard them barking in the distance, getting closer. When they found me curled in my makeshift shelter, I didn't resist. The officer who followed the dog took one look at my setup and knew this wasn't some panicked kid who got lost. His first question was, "What were you running from?" So I told him everything. The locked rooms, the basement bed, the refrigerator lock. The officer's radio crackled as we walked back toward the house. I could hear Gary's voice before I saw him, loud and frantic, probably spinning some story about my behavioral problems. But when we emerged from the tree line, Gary wasn't on the porch anymore. He was in handcuffs in the back of a police car. Turns out, my mom had finally cracked under police questioning, admitting to Gary's discipline methods and her own neglect. She divorced Gary that month and got us both into therapy.